Good evening, Boca Raton. What a beautiful night to be here in Meisner Park. Thank goodness the rain has stopped. And we're celebrating 100 years of our city's incredible history and the people who made Boca Raton the vibrant community it is today. Tonight's concert, Through the Decades, takes us on a musical journey through the past century, a century filled with innovation, creativity, and community spirit. But before we begin, I'd like to recognize my colleagues on the City Council who we have here with us this evening. I'm Deputy Mayor Fran Naklis. We have Councilmember Andy Thompson, Councilmember Mark Wigder, and you all probably know Mr. Addison Meisner, who's joining us here as well.
Thank you all. I also like to thank the city staff. Everyone give them a big round of applause because the rain, keeping it dry, keeping these wires dry, keeping everything going. Thank our public safety officers for sticking it out with us here. Thank the Boca Raton Historical Society and all the volunteers who have worked throughout our centennial year to bring these amazing celebrations to life. So, 100 years ago, Boca Raton was just taking shape, a vision of Mediterranean architecture, community pride, and national beauty. Tonight, as we look back at those early days and ahead to the next 100 years, we're reminded that Boca's story has always been about its people, the dreamers, the innovators, the educators, the artists, the architects, and its natural beauty. So, we're proud to partner with Festival of the Arts Boca and Boca Raton Historical Society to bring back this extraordinary performance, a big band style celebration that will carry us through the decades of Boca's history.
So friends, we hope that you could sit back, relax, and enjoy the music, the memories, and the milestones that make our city, the city of Boca Raton, such a special place to live. So on behalf of my City Council colleagues and everyone here at the City of Boca Raton, thank you for being part of our Centennial celebration. Here's to 100 more years of community, culture, and connection, and to the next 100 ahead. So I am so pleased to be able to introduce Kyle Prescott and the Festival BOCA Jazz Orchestra. We hope that you all enjoy the show.
That was Música para el Camino Real by Kevin Wilt. Kevin is the chair of the music department and composer in residence at Florida Atlantic University. Kevin, are you here this evening? If you are, please stand. Kevin? Oh, there he is, Kevin Wilt. That piece was commissioned by Festival of the Arts Boca to celebrate the Centennial of Boca Raton. I'm Joanna Marie Kay, and I am with Festival of the Arts Boca, and this is the Festival BOCA Jazz Orchestra conducted by Kyle Prescott. We are so happy to be here with you. Thank you for braving the weather. Now, we'll be giving you some highlights of history from the 1920s through the 1980s in words, pictures, and in song. Now, if you would like the complete history of Boca Raton, I recommend you get yourself the book Dream City from our friends at the Boca Raton Historical Society. They're at a table back there. Most of the photos that you're going to see on the screen tonight are from that book. Now, if you want to know more about Festival of the Arts Boca, it will take place right here, February 27th through March 8th. There is a table for more information, and you know what? There'll be a tent, so you won't have to hide from the rain. So, in the early 1920s, Boca Raton was a quiet farming community.
We arrived in Boca Raton October 1st, 1923. A 2-burner oil stove, small icebox, hand pump in the sink, and an oil lamp furnished the kitchen. A chick sale was in the backyard, with a cute half-moon cutout in the door. Joe looked at me and said, "Are you sure you want to stay?" I replied, "Wild horses couldn't get me away from here." Floyd Mitchell.
That was Boca Raton before it became the stage for architect Addison Meisner's grand vision. In April 1925, Meisner unveiled plans for a luxury paradise with an oceanfront hotel, lavish mansions, golf courses, polo grounds, and palm-lined boulevards, dubbing it the Dream City of the Western world. The population surged, and Meisner became Boca's city planner after its incorporation.
It is my heart, my soul, my pride. Boca Raton is my life's work, to which I shall give my all. If it is not made the most beautiful place in all the world, it will not be for the want of trying. Cities are ugly. They need not be ugly, however. Every block, small cottage, and every street and alley can just as well be made beautiful and inviting. That is what I am doing at Boca Raton. Boca Raton is my life work. Addison Meisner.
Dyron Holloway on the clarinet, Dante Luciani on the trombone, Aaron Stang back there on the banjo, Frank Derrick at the drums. In the role of Earl Hines at the piano, this is Professor Phil Hinton. And in the role of Louis Armstrong, Professor David Gibble, right there. The West End Blues, 1927. My friends, that is one of the most important pieces of music this country has ever made. It is a very special moment in the history of music, period, but certainly in the history of jazz. When Louis Armstrong played that solo that way with the Hot Five in 1927, everything changed. There isn't a single bit of jazz that came after that that wasn't in some way influenced. That was an amazing moment of 1927. Right as Boca Raton was getting going, so was jazz and the great Louis Armstrong. We're going to go on with some more terrific music from the 1920s. Going to shift gears quite a bit. Here's a cha-cha-cha. T for two. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Legendary composer Irving Berlin found himself swept up in Addison Meisner's grand but ill-fated vision for Boca Raton. An investor in Meisner's ambitious project, Berlin struck up a friendship with the eccentric architect. At one point, whispers floated about Berlin opening a swanky nightclub in Boca Raton. A tantalizing idea, but alas, one that never got beyond cocktail chatter. After Meisner's passing, Berlin channeled his admiration into a musical inspired by Meisner's colorful life and eclectic circle of friends and clients. The project cycled through titles like The Last Resorts, Palm Beach, The Meisner Story, and Sentimental Guy. Despite its alluring premise, this musical gem has never made its way to the stage. Could it still be hiding in Berlin's trunk of untold stories? One can only wonder. 1926, the boom went bust with a bang. Northern newspapers slammed Florida's overblown hype, and the FEC Railway embargoed building supplies, throwing quite a wrench in the works. Then, as if things couldn't get worse, a Category 4 hurricane barreled through on September 18, leaving destruction, heartbreak, and chaos in its wake. Shell-shocked newcomers fled in droves, and the once thriving dream of a paradise collapsed into bankruptcy and ruin. Now, songwriting team Nasio Herb Brown and Grant Clark wrote a song called In Boca Raton that romanticized the little seaside town. But by the time the song was recorded in 1928, there was nothing romantic about Boca Raton. So they changed the title to In Avalon Town. Avalon is the town on the Catalina Island off the coast of California. It was recorded by several artists, including Bing Crosby. Well, tonight, my friend Bill Stafford, where are you, Bill? He's gonna help me sing. We're gonna go back to the original lyrics. But here's the thing, we need your help, okay? So warm up your voices. Bill and I are gonna sing the song through once, and then you're gonna join us. Are you ready? Oh, I don't know. Are you ready? Okay, Bill, I think
Sounds
they're
good.
ready. Okay.
Here we go.
All right, so here are the words.
I'll go over here.
Think of an evening in June, under a crystal-like moon. Think of an old Spanish tune. You're in Boca Raton, closing your eyes for a while. Picture a tropical smile, started with flowers that smile. You're in Boca Raton. Romance lingers with every hour. Romance beckons with all her power to you. Think about old Captain Kidd. Think of the chest that he hid. Dream that you've opened your lid. You're in Boca Raton. You ready to give it a try?
Here we go. You can help us.
Okay, sing out loud, all right? Here we go. Think of an evening in June, under a crystal-like moon. I can't hear you.
Think of an old Spanish tune. You're in Boca Raton.
Closing your eyes for a while. Picture a tropical isle, started with flowers that smile.
You're in Boca Raton.
Romance lingers with every hour.
Romance beckons with all her
Power to you.
Think of that old Captain Kidd. Think of the chest that he hid. Dream that you've opened the lid. You're in Boca Raton.
All right, thank you. You guys did great. So did you,
We made
Bill.
a thing, yeah.
Thanks so much.
Not too bad.
We're going to see Bill again in the 1960s. So thank you, Bill. That's time travel, yes. So by 1930, Boca Raton had all but retreated to its humble roots as a sleepy agricultural town. Gone were the dreams of a glittering metropolis. Pearl City had been established for black residents south of what is today Glades Boulevard between Dixie and Federal Highway, so that workers on local farms didn't have to make the long walk from Deerfield. Now, it's likely Pearl City was named for the Hawaiian pearl pineapple, as it was on the site of a former pineapple packing shed. Residents, among other things, enjoyed playing marbles.
I'll never forget years ago of a marble range. It was right in the center of Dixie Highway. A car passed by probably every 4 or 5 hours. So that's where we used to make up our marble range. Right in the middle of Dixie Highway, right between 11th and 12th Streets. Walter Dolphus.
The unlikely hero, Clarence Geist, turned the tide with his Boca Raton Club. In the darkest days of the Great Depression, the club became a financial lifeline for the community, offering desperately needed jobs to both black and white residents. Geist didn't stop there. His influence brought modern marvels to the tiny town, including a sparkling new FEC railroad station and a cutting-edge water treatment plant that set the standard for the state.
Oh, thank you so much. The Festival BOCA Raton Jazz Orchestra right here. That was the music of Duke Ellington. I don't know. Michael on the trumpet over there, fantastic work. I don't know if any of you have ever been to New York City, but it's not the sixth borough. It's its own country, thank you very much. Its own town, thank you very much. If you've been to New York, if you've been to Columbus Circle, for instance, and you need to get to Harlem, you got a couple of options. You could walk it, you could make it across the park, you can get yourself a cab, it's a lot of money, or you can find yourself a train. Phil, do you know which train to take if I want to get to Harlem?
I think it's the A.
It is the A train. That was the A train. Take the A train. It was a long way. That was a long road to get to that laugh. Both of you, thank you. Take the A train of the great Edward Kennedy Duke Ellington. Can I just say, we mentioned Louis Armstrong a moment ago, seminal figure. Duke Ellington, one of the great composers of the 20th century, no modifier, just one of the great composers of the 20th century. We're so proud to be able to play his music tonight. Another great musician from the 1930s that we're celebrating tonight is Benny Goodman, a fantastic clarinet player. You don't get to do the music of Benny Goodman live unless you've got a clarinet player that can play anything. We have 5 of them. Not kidding. We're excited about that. Benny Goodman, here's a little bit about Benny. He died practicing. He died practicing the clarinet. Now think about that for a minute. He had made it. You can't make it more than Benny Goodman. He dies, he's still practicing. He was actually practicing the Weber Concertino, the the Weber Concertino, classical clarinet piece, and when he passed away. Something about that story really warms my heart that he just was always trying to get better. He also was trying to get better when he played Chick Webb in a competition at a little place also in Harlem, a little place called the Savoy Ballroom. The Savoy Ballroom was 142nd and Lex, I think. The Savoy Ballroom was a special place. You can still see where it is. I think there's a Starbucks. It's actually, no, it's a Chick-fil-A with a Starbucks inside of it. The Savoy Ballroom was an amazing place. Some of the pictures are extraordinary. And this tune of Goodman's is all about that place. It's called Stompin' at the Savoy. Darren Holloway as Benny Goodman. And Dante Luciani on the trombone again back there. Not for nothing, that's also Dr. Holloway and Dr. Luciani. Extraordinary teachers of music in other places in their life, and tonight they're playing for you. So teachers actually do, don't they? We're so happy to bring you this music tonight. That was the Stomp at the Savoy of Benny Goodman. One more for you before we move out of the 1930s. We heard one great clarinet player, Benny, another fantastic clarinet player who also made his living as a player with an extraordinary orchestra in the 1940s. He spent most of the Second World War in the Pacific Theater, going from island to island. He was an island hopper himself with his band, and they played for the Marines and for the Army all across, and for the Navy all across the Pacific Theater during the Second World War. This is the great Artie Shaw. Artie Shaw gave us so much wonderful music to play from, including a style that he captured from the Caribbean, from the island of Guadeloupe, I think. A style which nobody had really heard before, and a style which, when he brought it to life, brought an entire nation, in one voice called out the same question. What the heck is a begin? What's up? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and. Tom McCormick on tenor saxophone.
You guys are amazing for sticking it out here. Life in Boca Raton underwent a seismic shift in the 1940s when World War II brought the world to its doorstep. In 1942, the Army Air Force Technical Training Command made the bold move of establishing the Boca Raton Army Airfield right in this quiet little town. Headquarters, none other than the swanky Boca Raton Club, quickly transformed from luxury resort to military nerve center. The base sprawled across nearly 6,000 acres, stretching from Palmetto Park Road up past Yamato and from Dixie Highway all the way to today's I-95.
Imagine just having left the sub-zero temps of a northern winter and waking up one morning just as we ground to a screeching halt at the Boca AAF rail siding adjoining Dixie Highway. I lifted the Pullman's window shade to see palm trees, greenery, sunshine. This Rock Island rube, who had never been further south than Illinois, was most impressed. John Cochran.
No matter how often he showered, it didn't take long to build up another sweat. It was impossible to change clothes more than once a day, and everyone smelled from stale sweat. Ed Wallish.
The base became the hub for airborne radar training, attracting a flood of pilots, mechanics, instructors, and their families. It was known as the Secret of Boca.
Oh, everything was secretive. We were warned that discussion of even the word radar off the base was an automatic court-martial. When we came into the building for a class a few minutes before noon, let's say, the other class was leaving out the back door while we were allowed in the front door. Bob Davy.
I just want to mention, we're about to get into some serious dancing music right now, and you do not need to stay in your seats.
What better music to talk about the great Air Force Band, the Air Force Station here in Boca Raton, than Flying Home. That was Flying Home, as played by the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Of course, the Glenn Miller Orchestra was extraordinarily successful through the 1930s, 1940, 1941. There was a moment they had 8 of the top 10 tunes in the nation, 8 out of 10. This is surpassing Beatles quality, right? This is unbelievable. So the Miller Band was doing so very, very well until one day, of course, following December 7th, 1941, every last one of them went down and signed up and became not the Glenn Miller Orchestra, bringing in about $20,000 a week, but instead the 8th Air Force Band, bringing in about $37 a month. But they also saved a country and saved the world. As part of the 8th Air Force in Europe, of course, in England, they were playing for the boys as they left the field on their missions over Europe and playing for the boys as they came back. That, of course, was Flying Home, a tune written by Lionel Hampton, the great Lionel Hampton vibraphone player. I'm a graduate of the Lionel Hampton School of Music, so I have to make a point of bringing that up every now and then. That was Flying Home of the Goodman Band. What's next? Yeah. We've heard a little bit from Miller, we've heard a little bit from Ellington. It's time to hear from the Dorsey brothers. This is Opus 1. Simcox at the clarinet. One more from the 40s. I don't need to introduce it. Jeff Kay on the trumpet.
Kyle Prescott conducted the smoking hot Festival BOCA Jazz Orchestra. Aren't they great? The 1950s brought a new kind of boom to Boca Raton as Florida became the ultimate magnet for veterans who had tasted the sunshine during the war and decided to make it home. Armed with air conditioners, modern pesticides, and portable retirement accounts, these newcomers arrived with their young families, turning sleepy Boca into a burgeoning town. Subdivisions sprouted up along the coast, and the city began to blossom with attractions. Bibletown, a Christian resort community, Africa USA, which offered a thrilling safari park experience, zebras and all, and Ancient America, a quirky attraction featuring a prehistoric burial mound. There were other fun things to do too, as resident Patricia Edinger-Jacobak tells us.
The Boca Bombers were our pride and joy, a semi-pro softball team. They had a beautiful new ball field with lights to play on at Memorial Park on West Palmetto Park Road. The bleachers were new. We cheered for our Bombers, swatted mosquitoes, and giggled with our friends. Now, if the game got a little too long, we had a plan. We would crawl around under the stands looking for soda bottles to return to the concession stand. Guess how much we got? A whole 2 cents each. If we found enough bottles, we could buy a soda to share. It made the evening so perfect.
They would always go up A1A apiece and go through a path right up through the palmettos and over the bank. The whites at this end, and the blacks at this end. Ever since I've been here, blacks always went to the beach. Ulysses Brown.
In 1955, Boca Raton finally got its own voice with the launch of the Boca Raton News. Meanwhile, the iconic Boca Raton Club shed its seasonal status and transformed into a full-time convention destination. And yes, this is when it was painted that now famous or infamous shade of pink. The once sleepy agricultural town was officially on the map, its future looking brighter and pinker than ever.
from the Perez Prada Orchestra, El Rico El Mambo. Also re-recorded as Mambo Jumbo. With our band, we call it both. Though they sing great, the whole band sang on that one. What's next? There were so many great soloists, so many great bands in the 40s and 50s, and some amazing soloists, including some of the best singers we've ever heard in the history of our country. 1940s and 50s brought us such extraordinary voices, including one of the great jazz songstresses of all time, the great Ella Fitzgerald. We're going to bring you some Ella tonight. This is from the 1950s, a terrific recording. This is Too Darn Hot. Now, it is so difficult to do the music of Ella Fitzgerald with a live orchestra because you have to find somebody who can sing the music of Ella Fitzgerald, right? Well, we have somebody you've already met. My friends, Joanna Kay, back to the stage.
Why, thank you. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to suck with my baby tonight. Refill the cup with my baby tonight. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight. Refill the cup with my baby tonight. But I ain't up to my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight and pitch the woo with my baby tonight. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight and pitch the woo with my baby tonight. But brother, you fight my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers his lovey-dovey to court when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Pants for romance is not, 'cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight and pitch the woo with my baby tonight. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight, pitch the woo with my baby tonight. But brother, you'll find my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers his lovey-dovey to court when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, a guy for his squad, a Marine for his queen, a GI for his cutie pie is not, 'cause it's too darn hot. 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 It's too darn Thank you. There's my hubby on the solo. The 1960s hit Boca Raton like a rocket. transforming the town from a sleepy coastal retreat into a bustling hub of progress and possibility. It was a decade of firsts. Boca finally got its own high school and hospital, along with a shiny new city hall, community center, and a library. The skyline began to evolve too, as the iconic Boca Raton Club included a dazzling 27-story tower, the tallest in town, to welcome more guests. Out west, former bean fields were vanishing under waves of new housing developments, giving rise to what locals began calling West Boca. In 1964, Boca made headlines when Florida Atlantic University opened on the former Army airfield land. None other than President Lyndon B. Johnson came to town for the grand dedication.
Well, he, LBJ, was going to come and dedicate the university, and they didn't have a place that was suitable for that, so they had to build a wooden platform for him to be on and make his speech. And in doing that, someone realized that it wasn't too smart to have the President of the United States up on top of a pile of wood with space underneath it that someone could play havoc with. So as a volunteer firefighter at that time, I got assigned to be underneath that platform, and they gave me a pressurized water fire extinguisher and a flashlight. And I thought, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, naturally, I kept people out of there, but then I also realized I could see up through those slats of the lumber. And there I was, looking up what became LBJ's trousers. He had skinny legs.
That was Legends Radio's Mike McGann as Kerry Cohen. The tech future arrived in Boca Raton when IBM chose the city in 1967 to build its cutting-edge System 360 Model 20 mainframe computers. The company didn't just bring jobs, it brought architectural flair, commissioning Marcel Brauer to design a striking local headquarters, what is now called Boca Raton Innovation Campus, or BRIC. Little did anyone know this was only the beginning. Boca was on the brink of becoming the powerhouse city we know today, one big leap at a time.
The 60s also gave us some great performances from bands and singers, including one of the most iconic recordings of the century. In 1965, none other than Frank Sinatra hooked up with the Count Basie Orchestra, where? The Sands on the Vegas Strip, where they recorded Sinatra at the Sands with the Basie Orchestra, a spectacular recording that should be in everyone's library. But tonight, you don't have to listen to a recording. We're going to give it to you live. This is Quincy Jones' extraordinary arrangement of Fly Me to the Moon for the Basie Orchestra, and our own Frank Sinatra. We're bringing back Bill Stafford.
Thank you. Here we go. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, and let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. Oh, in other words, I love you. Here we go, guys. The moon, oh let me sing among stars. Oh, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, lead me to I love you.
Alongside Sinatra and the rest of the Rat Pack, we might hear some more from them later. Other great singers of the 60s, the legendary Nat King Cole. Here's the thing. Nobody should ever try and imitate or duplicate Nat King Cole, with one possible exception. The extraordinary Natalie Cole. When she covered L-O-V-E, it was just about the perfect tribute. So we're gonna tribute the tribute with L-O-V-E tonight, performed by, again, Miss Joanna Kay.
I know you know the words. Please sing along with me. You can spell them. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you'll adore, and love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. My buddy. Of course, the 60s was the era of the Rat Pack. We heard a little bit of Frank, but my favorite was Dean Martin. And I don't know anybody else today who can sing Dean Martin better than my good friend Bill Stafford. You're gonna get a kick.
Woohoo. I know. That's okay, I forgive you. Glad I don't have to sing that high. can one guy be? See, I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room went completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. See, it's just like that fella said. Tell me quick, hey, love the kick, go ahead, the head. Hey! Like the fella once said, oh, ain't that a kick in the head? One more time, guys. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. See, I couldn't feel any better or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick? In the head.
Bill Stafford. Good job, buddy. After what seemed like an eternity of construction, I-95 finally carved its way through Boca in the mid-1970s. This shiny new artery opened the floodgates for development in West Boca, making it an attractive option for families escaping the denser climes of Dade and Broward counties.
The boom in the 1960s came from IBM building here and Arvida developing here. Mr. Butt's farm gave way to the Town Center Mall and West Boca. The old Army Air Base with the sports cars and drag races gave way to Florida Atlantic University. Yes, I was there in the Sand Spurs with almost everyone in town to see President Lyndon Johnson dedicate the university. The 1960s were a time of growing up for me, a time of turmoil for our country, and a time of rebirth for our sleepy little town that still lives in my heart. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And after 7 decades here, I still live in historic Spanish Village. I have been in my present house for 47 years, through 2 husbands and 7 children.
That was Legends Radio's Angela Manfredi as Arlene Britton Owens, who just passed away in 2024. For locals, the addition of the Boca Raton Mall, right where we are now, brought modern shopping right to their doorstep. The Boca Raton Historical Society was founded in 1972 to document the city's story and advocate for its remaining historic gems. Hello, Historical Society, they're back there. Boca Raton in the 1970s was a city balancing on the edge of transformation, grappling with its rapid rise while fiercely guarding its charm and history. The decade proved that this was a town that could grow with grace on its own terms. see anybody doing the bump. Come on.
Disco is not dead, Joanna. It's alive and well in Boca Raton.
It is. The 1980s were a game changer for Boca Raton. In 1981, IBM unveiled the groundbreaking IBM PC, the ancestor of all personal computers, and Boca Raton proudly stamped "Made Here" on this revolutionary invention. Suddenly, Boca wasn't just a beach town, it was Silicon Beach. While the tech world buzzed, Arvida made its own splash in 1981 with the opening of Town Center Mall. The city's historic town hall was renovated and became the beloved new home of the Boca Raton Historical Society. Please visit their table and purchase one of the beautiful Dream City coffee table books. By the end of the decade, a bold new vision for downtown emerged. Locals, headed by Festival of the Arts Boca co-founders Charlie Seaman and Wendy Larson, approved the demolition of the Boca Mall, paving the way for the creation of Meisner Park, a stylish blend of culture, shopping, and community spaces that would become the city's crown jewel. The 1980s proved that Boca Raton could reinvent itself, blending innovation, culture, and community in a way that set the stage for its exciting future. And now we need you all to dance to this next number. So please, get ready. As soon as Kyle finds the music. Kyle Prescott and the Festival BOCA Jazz Orchestra. Whoops. Here we are, we have music. You know this song, please dance. Have fun. Shake your body, baby, to the conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, to the conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Shake your body, baby, to the conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do the conga beat. sugar cane so sweet. If you want to do the conga, you've got to listen to the beat. Come on, shake your body, baby, do the conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do the conga beat. Of desire as you dance the night away. 'Cause tonight we're gonna party till we see the break of day. Better get yourself together and hold on to what you got. Once the music hits your system, there's no way you're gonna stop. Shake your body, baby, to the conga. No, you can control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do the conga beat. Come on, shake your body, baby, to the conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do the conga. Come on, shake your body, baby, to the conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do the conga beat. Come on, shake your body, baby, do the conga. All right. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight, for braving the rain. You are amazing. I hope you'll come back to Meisner Park for Festival of the Arts Boca's 20th season, February 27 through March 8th. Information is available at festivalboca.org. There's also a table over there. My good friend Lisa is minding the table. There will be a tent. All right, there will be a tent. I want to say thank you to the Boca Raton Historical Society for their partnership in putting this program together. And of course, a huge, huge thank you to the City of Boca Raton. Thank you. Join us now. We're going to raise a glass and toast to Boca Raton's incredible history and its bright future. Thank you.
celebrate and have a good time. Come on, sing. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Come on! Celebrate good time. Come on! Come on. Have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Did you have a good time tonight?
Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. Celebrate. It's alright.
Thank you. You have been wonderful. Thank you so much. The Festival BOCA Jazz Orchestra. Kyle Prescott. Thank you, City of Boca. Thank you, Boca Raton Historical Society. Thank you to each one of you. I hope to see you at Festival of the Arts Boca, right here, February 27. Good night.